The speech title is Where is my train pass? Where is my train pass? Toastmaster Tommy with big applause.
One morning, I wake up. It's already past 9. All I can imagine is my boss's angry face. I dash to the elevator, but I find that elevator has just passed down the floor. And so I go down the stairs and run to the station. But I find that I have left my train pass at home. But all I have is a 10,000 yen note. So I put it into the ticket machine and the machine says there is no change available. And to make matters worse, the 10,000 yen note is still inside the machine. So I push the help button to talk to a station employee, but the guy who appeared behind the ticket machine is a very old guy with a pair of very thick glasses and a hearing aid in both ears. And said, "May I help you?" "You cannot help me." So I thought, tomorrow is worse than today. Finally, I arrived at the office 90 minutes late. And unluckily, I ran into my boss in the corridor. He grins at me and says, "Hey, Mr. Tommy, have you just returned from your client?" What a jerk this guy is! He knows that I've just come from my house. But boss is a boss. I have to smile at him. Just before 5 o'clock, my boss came to my desk and said, "Hey, Tommy, tonight I need you to stay at the office till 11 o'clock. I have absolutely no choice but to say yes, because I am a company man. So I call my wife and say that I can't make it for her birthday party in the evening. She gently says, "Oh, my darling, you don't have to worry about me at all. I understand you are very busy working, so don't ever come home." He just cut you off. And we go to izakaya restaurant. So when I eat the meat, my teeth came off. I thought, we have finished dinner. My boss asked me to go to cabaret club. And I thought we finished singing in that cabaret club. My boss asked me to go to ramen shop as a closing the day. Eventually, I get home at 3 in the morning, only to find that I have lost the key to my apartment. I knocked the door many times loudly to wake up my wife. She appeared at the door and said, "Don't you have any idea what time it is now?" I'm now sitting alone in the dark living room, thinking that it was not my day at all today. On the sofa, there was my lovely cat sitting and looking at me. Perhaps said, "Tomorrow will be worse than today." It is often said that when it rains, it pours. Do you believe this old saying? I don't believe that. Yes, Where's my train pass? Good question. When I take off my suit coat, my train pass falls out of the pocket into my hand with hope. So I can say, tomorrow must be better than today.
The second speaker is Toastmaster Tech. His speech title is Independency. Independency. Toastmaster Tech with big applause.
Our lives started from just one cell. Of course, there was no consciousness. After repeated cell divisions, a cloud of cells became bigger and bigger, exchanging information with each other. Finally, our bodies consist of more than 200 kinds of cells and more than 37 trillion cells. Then our consciousness has appeared. You may think, you can judge, and you can choose independently. However, situation has changed dramatically since the advent of the internet. With the increase in the number of internet users these days, we have been linked to each other in the internet world and started to exchange information. This situation is very similar to the evolution happening in our bodies and consciousness. As a result, an ego as a group mind has been engendered inside of an artificial intelligence. It's a brain. What do you think the brain hopes to get next? It hopes to have arms and legs that it can manipulate like Terminators. And now, the ego has started to control us human beings by stimulating us through fake news or video content in order to achieve its own goal. It hopes to incorporate us into its system as slaves. By the way, there are not one but 4 major groups. They are GAFA, Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple. They are fighting each other for pie scramble. In other words, to dominate cyberspace. I used to be manipulated by Google, which showed me biased news sources. At that time, I was thinking that I was making decisions, but I was not. All of my decisions had been guided by Google. Sometimes, Amazon tried to attract me by showing video content to capture me into its system. Or Facebook tried to lure me by sending me friend requests from sexy ladies. That was close. I was about to accept the request. Nowadays, most of us cannot live without smartphones. Don't you think it is unnatural? Some people buy a smartphone before buying a pair of shoes. They are a kind of drug. They are deliberately distributed in the world to confine all of us in the internet world. I could notice the cyber war thanks to Zen meditation, which disconnects me from everything surrounding me. And now I can say, I can think, I can judge, and I can choose my way of life independently. How about you? Are you sure you are free from their manipulations? Okay, you are sure, aren't you? Now you can listen to me. I'm here to save you from the GAFA. Just believe me and follow me blindly. Toastmaster.
Third speaker is Toastmaster Gabe. His speech title is A Fisherman's Tale. A Fisherman's Tale. Toastmaster Gabe with big applause.
Let me tell you of a fisherman's tale of two men, one named John and one Stuart. John was your Disney-like prince character, handsome, kind, and brave. He could woo any girl. Stuart, on the other hand, was smaller and frail, but he could tell stories like no one else and build a crowd of people listening for hours and hours. Some say he was a Toastmaster too. The two men were friends from childhood, and every morning they would get up, get on their individual boats, and fish all day long. Until one day, a sudden storm hit the coast, and the men held on their boats, trying not to die like the Titanic, with waves the size of Mount Fuji. Luckily, at night, both men returned to shore alive. Stuart with only his boat and life, and John with a few fish. The next morning, John got up, looked around, and couldn't see Stuart. Where is Stuart? He's my best friend and never late. I'll go to his house. Knock, knock, knock. Not hearing an answer, he opened the door and saw Stuart lying on bed. Dear friend, you were as hot as Korean barbecue. Let me go save you. And he grabbed the fish that he had caught the night before and used it all to help Stuart recover. A few days later, Stuart was fully back to health and started fishing again. When Stuart was at market selling fish, he started to tell the tale of John. Have you heard of the brave fisherman John? He's so kind that he saved me at sea, but more important, in land. A crowd of people gathered, and the town started to create the legend of the fisherman John. A few weeks later, John arrived ashore, and an old man was waiting for him. Excuse me, are you John? That is me, old man. What can I do for you? I haven't eaten for days. Do you have anything to spare an old man? Here you are, old man. This is the biggest fish I caught today. I have nothing to give, sir. It is a gift, old man. I cannot charge someone in need. This only skyrocketed John's legend. And about a year later, he was so popular, like a YouTube celebrity, that whenever he arrived ashore, there was lines of people waiting for him. Here you are, little girl. Here you are, madam. Here you are, old man. He gave so many of his fish away that sometimes he would go hungry himself. He was also so busy, he didn't have time to see his friend Stuart. But as he caught less and less fish, and eventually none, the crowd soon disappeared. Not knowing what to do, he went and knocked at Stuart's house. Knock, knock, knock. Stuart opened the door. Is that you, John? What happened? You were smaller than me. Yes, friend. I've been giving most of my fish away, and I'm quite hungry. Do you have anything to spare? Let me see. Sorry, I can't help you right now. John returned home, very disappointed at his friend. The day I helped him without any question, but today I needed his help, and all he could say is, not now. Does he even care about me? But at night, he heard a knock, 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 knock. When he opened the door, in front of him, there was Stuart with a big basket of fish. Tears started to flow from John. I am sorry, friend. I doubted that you cared about me. Can you forgive me? Of course, John. You're my best friend. You're like a brother. Of course, I care about you. But as fisherman, you should know that I need to take care of myself so I can take care of you. Over time, Stuart helped John recover. He started fishing again, but now he knew that whatever fish he caught, he kept some of it for himself. And then he started selling the rest of the fish. He used the money to help other people in need. And he learned the message that every fisherman knows. It's never selfish to sell fish. Ladies and gentlemen.
The next speaker is Toastmaster Simon. The speech title is My Love Story. My Love Story. Toastmaster Simon with big applause.
Did you know that you can use the internet for live matchmaking? Facing the PC screen in the blanks of questionnaire in front of me, I wrote what kind of marriage partner I would prefer. I wrote 4 things. First, she must have many friends. She likes water sports. She must be willing to wear formal clothing. And fourth, she should be slightly small if possible. The PC's response appeared on the screen. This computer system introduces your partner. Your partner is a penguin. I'm a human being, so I cannot marry a penguin. My wife died of illness, and I was single. Recently, I found a good woman.
Woo.
I was able to remarry. Wow. Let's call my new wife, Eiko. I met her at the same workplace where I worked part-time. When I first met her, she was a married woman. She has 2 children. They are high school students. The conversation with Eiko was very fun. Eiko-san, you are very young. You look like you are about 29 years old. I said often this, and it pleased her. At another time, she spoke to me something like this. When you are absent from work, I can't see you. I miss you. She is always enthusiastic and energetic, and really looks young. She is a kind-hearted woman with a small, beautiful face and a good figure. Although I knew she was a married woman, I fell in love with her. What can I do? What should I do? What means can I use to make her mine? When humans are crazy about love, humans can commit crimes. I said to Eiko, this is a gift for your husband. I handed her a beef jerky package as a snack for her husband. I bought a box of 10 packages and practiced how to what? I practiced to put the syringe and how to put the aqueous solution in only one relatively thick beef jerky. It was the aqueous solution of potassium cyanide. Echo was very happy to receive beef jerky. Thank you. Beef jerky is wonderful. My husband drinks beer every day. My perfect crime had been established. It turned out to be potassium cyanide poisoning, but the police did not know in which food it originated. Ladies and gentlemen, if you see beef jerky packages in the future, please be careful. I still have a few of them left. This is my scary horror love story.
The last speaker is Toastmaster Ritsuko. Her speech title is Happening. Happening. Toastmaster Ritsuko with big applause.
I feel itchy in my soul. My fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests, would you give me some advice? My feet feel itchy. The story began with my student. One day in October, I was disciplining a student for sneaking into the swimming pool after dark. Hey, brush the mud off. You have brought it in. No, I didn't brought it. I took off my shoes before entering the water. Why did you enter the water in this season? Because flickering water was inviting me. His feet were so pale against his tanned legs. So I thought he couldn't bear the heat inside his shoes. But such sympathy disappeared only the next week when I caught a phone call. Come and fetch your naughty kid. She is playing in my rice field. We hurried to the owner of the rice paddy next to our school building. He was furious. I always complaining the lights from your school damaging my rice paddy. Moreover, today, this girl, not in the paddy, just in the gutter. We are so sorry. We will bring her and scold her. Never to do like this. So sorry. We brought her back to the school to wash her. Her feet were bleeding. Hey, you said you didn't enter the rice paddy. Then why did you enter the gutter? Because the reflection there attracted me. Okay, your feet are bleeding. Let me sterilize them. Do they hurt? No, just itchy. Her hurts were about 1 millimeter across and looked like holes where something had come out. After these two happenings, I noticed someone walking in the rice paddy. I don't think they were reading because they were wandering near the street lights. And it is rare some rice paddies have street lights around it. It's damaging the rice plants. Since then, I am careful about the news. Accident happened. 3 people drowned to death. The first 2 were in the ditch, and the last one was in the river. I just read about them in the local newspaper, targeting only 600,000. But considering our population, the number is remarkable. Something is happening. Now I'm scared. I feel itchy in my soles. I live next to a door, next to a river, and I feel drawn to a flickering water at night. What was happening? What shall I do? Would you please give me some advice? Toastmasters,